Dr. Bornstein trained, well-trained, board certified in both internal medicine and gastroenterology in New York City. A reputable guy, but we can see he's a little eccentric. Yes, God bless him. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I think he got a little caught up in this thing of dealing and taking care of Donald Trump. But that letter, the way that it was worded, right. I have never heard of anything like that, categorizing somebody's health like that. And how can you compare his health to past presidents? What, he's healthier than JFK, who was 40-something years old? I mean, that's just not going to happen.
Run around,
or Obama, who was in good shape playing basketball.
The politicization, or whatever the term you want to use, of health is problematic. And when you get doctors involved in a way where the doctors feel like they have to become a part of this political pulpit, I am very much bothered by it. I don't want to single him out. I actually love his look, and I'm being serious.
Oh, I do too. I'd like to hang with the guy.
You can throw those locks out, blow in the wind. Put a little fan on stage.
It just, you know, it's
the
just
Doctor
part
season
of
20. That's my look.
This medical circus that's going on. If we can just for 1 second go back to Hillary.
Yeah, I mean the rumors that are out there about her ailments, but the things that are factual that we know about. She's had 2 episodes of blood clots for which she has to take a blood thinner now, and she fell in a basement and cracked her elbow, and she had a concussion in 2012 that left a little blood clot, but one that dissolves and didn't cause any like mental permanent damage.
Again, yeah, you go through her list of problems, and I think to myself, okay, this is, I hate to say standard for someone her age, right. But nothing jumps out at you. And quite frankly, I look at Trump, and nothing jumps out at you. My problem in all this is I sat in bed last night thinking about it, is that doctors, I feel like doctors are feeling some pressure. If you're the personal physician to a candidate, that you're feeling pressure to promote their health and wellness in a certain light. And to me, that is a problem. It bothers me. It makes me feel a little uncomfortable. And this is happening more and more, that doctors maybe feel pressure to write, well, he or she's a little bit healthier than maybe they are or aren't. That should not be the case. I don't know the answer, but what I would say is, with all the headlines you're going to continue to see, don't always believe the hype. I will say I am pretty, quite frankly, I said this earlier, I'm fairly impressed with the health of both of these candidates in the grand scheme of things. And I would vote based on your desires, who you think would be a better president, not based on all these assertions out there when it comes to their health.
About this last night. So I actually looked up the health of past presidents and found out some really interesting things. I mean, first of all, I don't think FDR would ever be elected today because he's in a wheelchair. Right. Like, people would create, even though it was polio, yeah, they would just have all sorts of, but very interesting things. Like Bush Sr. had multiple bleeding ulcers, and Eisenhower, 6 months before the election, was diagnosed with Crohn's and had an abdominal operation for Crohn's, which is a debilitating, long-standing disease.
Never knew that.
Kennedy had Addison's, which is a chronic, incurable adrenal gland back problems, and there was, you know, painkiller addiction and stuff because of his back problems and some anxiety. He took it. There's just so many health problems, many of which I have to say were disclosed.
Well, and it's interesting when you think about it. I don't know that you would want a president in office who's had no health problems. I think of even my last year, I had a severe bout of vertigo. I had a herniated disc in my neck. My point is that we all have medical ailments.
You're falling apart, dude.
No, my point is that if you're president and you've never been ill, how are you going to have any empathy for people who, I mean, everyone gets sick at some point. That's part of life.
And to both of your points, I mean, what do we want to know about these presidential candidates? Is the brain working? Is their cognitive function good? Their heart, their lungs, those are the key things.